Welcome, internet, to They Can't All Be Bangers. We have decreed they can't all be bangers. So if you disagree, you can just suck it.
Yeah.
I'm I'm Jeremy Herzer,
And I'm Hatori.
and we write a song every week, whether you like it or not. I don't know why I'm all fired up about the people not watching this video. Uh,
Not yet, but like in
yeah,
30, 40 years,
it can be like, wow,
yeah, they're like, whoa, that's like
deep,
history. Or maybe
bro.
like a psychology class, they'll be like, well, these two people here are
Yeah, this is where it all went wrong.
yeah,
Two normal, I don't know if we normal lives or not,
seemingly.
all right, I asked you before, but you're rocking the jazzy wear
Right, that's right. It's my
today.
Mother's Day um present and
And
I love it.
I think the laws of the internet is she gets $1 every time her face is shown
She does.
on
That's
YouTube
yeah, child
from the
labor laws
EU.
or what from the
Child labor laws. She gets a gram of cobalt shipped to her. Uh, I
oh,
don't know
understand politics
why.
very
Yeah, I don't.
anyway.
Right. Yes, that's the right answer. Um, Hattori, how was your week of songwriting? You had some adventure.
I did. Um, so I kind of half jokingly last week said I would write this song by going on an Instagram live and taking suggestions from
Mm-hmm.
people.
Mm-hmm.
And when I said that, in my head, I was like, well, no one's going to be on. Okay. So it'll be like one person and
Mm-hmm.
it'll be a normal person. And wow, I was so wrong about that. People made some wild suggestions and I have fit them in to my song.
That's great.
I mean, it is I'm proud of the fact that I got all of those weird words in here.
Yeah.
Uh, cannot say that I am proud of anything else.
Well, the I think I can speak for you as well, and just say for both of us, it's like I like how you're like, yeah, you don't know what I'm gonna say, but you're like probably.
Words,
But I think right this week by week, this is it's always about the exercise. Like obviously, you and I would love to write a great killer song every week, but it just comes down to the exercise.
they can't all be bangers.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, that is freaking cool. I did join for a few moments, but I realized I don't I one of the things I like about the way we do this is I like being surprised when I hear your songs. So I didn't want to spoil the surprise. So,
What's so funny is that all these people that I've met, especially going to like open mics,
mhm.
I've befriended a lot of like producers and musicians, and they just like hopped on and were like, "Hey, like you should do this," or like, "We need to get this guy on the call who's a producer," and I'm like, "Oh no, like these are real professionals who know what they're doing." And I'm humiliating myself in front of them, but they're like so willing to jump in and be like, "Yeah, send me this. Like, I'll do a beat for you." And I'm like, "Oh my God, like
You're like demoing horse meat.
it's, this is like
Yeah.
adjacent to horse meat." Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
You're demoing horse meat and some real producers join. Like,
Oh my God, this is not a good representation of who I am. But actually, like, it probably is a good representation, you
that's
know?
funny.
How will you decide that?
I
How
I'm
was your week?
I was pretty lazy this week, although I am doing a game of bands. I'm writing lyrics. I got assigned, so I wrote some lyrics, and it was harder than I thought it would be. I'm still kind of stuck, but it's hard when you don't control the music. Um, you know what I mean? Because I only have a verse, and it's really a one and a four. It's one and four. So I'm kind of working around that. But yeah, for our project, I was kind of a little bit lazy. Also, I went and played. Um, I went and played two open mics this week, and I played Never Know When to Quit, and I also played Eulogy, and I got really good responses from Eulogy, uh, which surprised me. Like there was one lady who was like, "Oh my gosh," it gave me goosebumps, and a couple people were like, "Oh my God, you wrote that?" And it was a weird, I honestly, I'm being sincere. Like I did not expect that.
That I am not surprised at all because like I think I told you that is like I think my favorite song that you've written.
Well, thank you. You did tell me that. And but yeah, so I did, I wanted to just get out and do it. And it happened to be there were two open mics this week that I am a big fan of, both of them. So I'm saying all that to say there's kind of a reason, kind of an excuse as to why I started the song this morning.
Fair. Oh,
So
right. Based.
I, yeah, I think this is not my proudest performance, but hey, I did the exercise,
Right.
and yeah, I was trying to think if there's anything else to say about that. It
I'm
was a
excited
weird,
to.
it was a struggle.
Okay. Was it a struggle like all parts of it? Was there any part of the song that came easy to you?
Well, once I latched onto an idea and just decided this is going to be it, and I accept the fact that this is not going to be a banger. So I don't know if, as an aside, I don't know if you have this kind of, I have this sort of calculus that runs through the week where if I start, let's say I have an idea on Sunday and I'm going with it, in my mind, there's still the possibility that it's going to be a really good song. Because otherwise, if I'm like, oh, this is a stupid idea, well, I wouldn't spend any time working on it. It's not until you're in the last 2 hours that it's like, it doesn't matter if it's a stupid idea, you're stuck with it now. So, so yeah, but once I latched onto an idea and was like, hey, this is what we're doing, it actually came pretty easy because, you know, um, but yeah, there's probably some kind of maxim in life there is like the things you really care about and the things you want to make excellent, um, rarely come easy. It's normally the things that you're just kind of like, eh.
You know, I think what's interesting, and this is, I think, the difference between like how we perceive our own music versus how
Mm,
others. Because you were just talking about the eulogy and how you're surprised that people
yeah.
respond positively to it. I'm like, it is otherworldly. It's such an amazing song, but I don't think, at least what I'm getting from you, is that you didn't really feel that way, especially when writing it.
No.
And then on the other hand, I feel like some of my work that I'm the most proud of has gotten like really mixed reviews.
Interesting.
Where people are like, "Eh." And I'm like, but I put so much like effort.
Hmm.
I actually like personally like it, but that's the difference between like taste, I think. It's just ultimately taste.
Yeah.
And on the creating side of it, we have all of the reasons and the thought process and um all the work that we put into it. And we
Yeah.
understand the listener doesn't have that at all. And so we're listening to two different songs
Yeah.
essentially.
Oh gosh. I think that's an excellent turn of phrase. I think that's a really great way to summarize that is that we're listening to two different songs. And I mean, I think that really helps crystallize in my mind that, that, uh, sort of competition, in terms of two competing goals is what I mean. I was actually just talking with my wife about my goals as a songwriter and my goals as a musician and performer because there's a big Venn diagram, right, of all that stuff. Um, and I've realized that like I so I had a buddy say, "Oh, I watched one of your episodes of the podcast," and he goes, "Oh man, you should put it on your YouTube channel as well and see if you can get a following." And I was like, "I don't want a following." It
Yeah.
was, and I didn't say that, but in my mind, I was like, "Oh God, no, I don't want to be responsible for any more social media." You know what I mean? And it's not just that, but it's also I think there's some level of like, I'm kind of afraid to start treating this seriously because then, I'm embarrassed of like, it's easy for me to just go, these are just demos on SoundCloud. But as soon as I start actually releasing music for real, like, you know,
I could not, I mean, that is probably what stopped me from putting any music out for like a
mm,
decade, you know? And even to this day, I have music out and I still,
Mm.
I feel that.
You have great music out,
I
in my
appreciate
opinion.
that. Like I still make excuses for
Mm-hmm.
myself. I'm like, and they can hear like this, the thing that's wrong that I hear,
Mm-hmm.
and all. I'm like, well, I make excuses. I'm like, well, I didn't know what I was doing, or like I
Mm-hmm.
didn't have, I didn't, and I'm like, I can just, I haven't learned to just accept my skill level for
Yeah.
where it's at now, and just be okay with like, this is the best I can do now,
Mm-hmm.
and be proud of that,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Um, the I was I was talking to my wife again about sorry, to kind of go back to that thought is that I was talking to my wife about my goals for everything that we're doing, right? And what I've realized is like I want to write a song or I want to write songs that are um that stand on their own merit. Because
Yeah.
apart from production, right? Because production, so I think I talked about this before, where Chris Rock, when he's trying out new material, he goes and at least the story is, and he has to pull his personality way back to make sure the joke is actually sound or the material sound. And that's how I feel about the songs that I'm writing. Is like I want the song to stand on its own, and I'm not saying like people need to cry when they hear it, right? But I want it to be something that I can objectively say that's a good song, and that is what I did what I wanted to there, and that's a good song. Then when I layer on production, it takes it to a place that
Yeah.
really, you know what I mean? Um,
Yes.
and I think that's it. I think that's my only goal right now is can I
That's a
get to a
really,
place where that's happening? So,
I think that's a really, really good perspective. I think that's the, I would call it the, like a musical integrity,
hmm,
like a commitment to the art itself, not for you as an artist, like as a person.
yeah,
That's really cool.
yeah,
Uh, I could, I could go on a tangent about this, but I'm not going to.
okay. Um, take that, internet. You don't get
Yeah.
to know. You sign up for 19.95 a month.
Oh yeah. Then
Hatori
you'll.
Tangents. She will tangent you. She'll send you a fresh tangent every morning to your inbox
I would love to do that.
if
People
you
would be
like and subscribe.
absolutely.
All right. I
Who
don't
went,
remember who went first last week.
who went first? I think I went
Okay.
first. What?
I'll I'll just
I
go
think
first this week.
yeah,
Yeah.
let's do it.
Um this song so again I started um I messed with a bunch of ideas this morning. I even went back into my songwriting journal and I found some lyrics, but it felt they were fully written lyrics.
Mhm.
And I felt like, I will be honest with you, Hattori. I was even tempted to go pull a song that is like 90% complete
I
and
understand.
finish it for today. I did not do that.
Good.
But that's where I was. That's how real the struggle was getting in my heart is can I lie to Hattori for a week? And
I would.
I don't want to be the first person to get on the internet and lie. So
Can't
uh
have that.
yeah. So this is net new. There's not really a lot to say about it. I will just play it and then we can talk about it. It's called
Sorry. Okay, yeah. It's called 19.
19.
Cool.
Yeah. I know I was just a kid, but I wish I'd had more to give. Up till then, I'd never seen you cry, even on the day your father died. I've worked hard to let go of my regrets, but this is one my heart won't let me forget. I was selfish, I was overwhelmed. I Wish I'd helped you climb out of your hell. If I could relive it all, I'd be there to ease your fall. Still don't know what I would say, but I'd be there every day. The day will come when you'll be gone. I don't want to miss my chance to right my wrongs. There's no use in reliving yesterday, but I want to take the chance I had to say. You should have had a better me. Should have had a better me. I moved down and I hit the road. Left you alone to shoulder that heavy load. I'm ashamed I didn't call you for a while. Well, I was so wrapped up in my own life. If I could relive it all, I'd be there, ease your fall. Still don't know what I would say, but I would be there every day. For the day will come when you'll be gone. I don't want to miss my chance to right my wrongs. There's no use in reliving yesterday, but I want to take the chance I have to say. Should have had a better me. Oh, the day will come when you'll be gone. I don't want to miss my chance to right my wrongs. There's no use in reliving yesterday, but I want to take the chance I have to say. Should have had a better me. Yeah, you should have had a better me. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you should have had a better me.
Just classic full Herzer song.
Well,
Heartfelt, moving, beautiful melody. It's the classic Jeremy chord progression,
oh,
with those
yeah.
tonic little moves in there. It's just, yeah, classic is like the only word I can think about it. Like it's like timeless and always. I feel like it's just always relevant.
Thank you.
I could picture like a crowd like with their little lighters. I guess they don't do that. It's just phone lights.
No, if I ever play a show, it's going to be a requirement. I want
Flamethrower.
flames. I want actual candles.
Yeah. That's awesome. Dripping everywhere, people
Yeah.
screaming.
I actually want fireflies in a jar. That's how hipster I'm going to be about it.
Wow, that's really cool. IPA in one hand.
That's right. Yes. Yes.
This is gorgeous. And so you started this morning?
Yeah. And I've used these chords before, so it definitely felt like a punt. And even listening back through it again, I was like, I mean, this song's about 2 hours old, really.
Wow.
Well, I should say I started the song about two hours before we got on
Dang,
Zoom.
that's crazy.
Well, I mean,
It doesn't feel that way.
it feels that way to me.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I think that, and is it the
Well,
like,
they're in. Oh, go ahead. Sorry. Yeah.
personally,
Mhm.
I have to sit with lyrics for a really long time.
Yeah. Same.
Usually, like, I sing them over and over and over again, or change them and tweak them, and I figure out what they mean as I'm writing it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you feel the same way, but like that's so when I first put lyrics down, it feels really weird for a while.
Yeah, yeah. And this was, I mean, this is a specific thing. All of this is really true.
Mm,
Um,
That's yeah.
so when
I
I
think
sat
that's
down to
why it
write,
feels
yeah,
so it feels whole. It feels complete to me.
mm,
I think it's because it's just you're it's you've lived it.
yeah,
You've
this was, so there's not really any metaphor in here. It's just kind of
yeah.
like, this is something I would want to say. I really have almost, well, the guitar's fine for this kind of song. I think I would go back and rework the chorus. And the chorus melody too, maybe a little bit. But the things in there, like if I could relive it all, I'd be there to ease your fall. Those I normally write things like that as a placeholder lyric.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I just didn't have time. I ran out of time to come back and fix those kind of things. Or like, I still don't know what I would say, but I would be there every day. Like that's what I would say as a human being to another human being, but that's not how I would,
As a songwriter.
yeah, as a songwriter, that's not where I want to leave that. So that's part of where I feel like, um, I think those are the two big things that would prevent me from ever playing this
Mm-hmm.
live. So if I go back and fix, the chorus melody, I think, and the chorus guitar, and gussy up some of these lyrics, um, I was stuck. I just felt really like no inspiration. And I had, what's funny is I came up with three other ideas
Mm-hmm.
that I quickly sketched out a little, but I was like, I can't. This other idea is too good to
Mm.
slap something together in 2 hours. Does that make sense? Like, so I put those aside. So I came up with three other, I think, really good ideas.
That's
Um,
exciting.
but I just took a break for a second and I was listening to one of my favorite songwriters, Jeffrey Martin. And one of the songs, it's not even one of my songs of his or one of his songs that I like necessarily all that much, but it struck me as a really true song.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of songs like, my favorite songwriters, right, where you're like, I don't know, but it's probably not. He probably wasn't a truck driver
Mm-hmm.
in his 60s. I don't know. Uh,
Maybe.
but this one really struck me as it felt true. And I was like, oh, and for whatever reason, this came to my mind. I'm over explaining this, but um, yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Well, thank you.
I no this okay, so talking about placeholder lyrics.
Hmm.
Have you ever had a time, and I don't know if you can reference a song where you've had placeholder holder lyrics in there and you've been completely unable to replace it with anything?
Yes. Well, I'll say yes with an asterisk. So More is an example. That song More from season one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I went round and round and round with that song over and over and over again, on multiple lyrics. And at a certain point, I just was like, I guess I'm not, I guess the song isn't going to see the light of day because I can't lie. You know what I mean?
As yes,
I can,
and
yeah,
the truth is not, what's the word? Sometimes the truth isn't artistic.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sometimes it's boring, I guess.
Sometimes it's boring and sometimes it's brutal and often it's brutal.
About it either. So that's such an interesting thing to think
Mhm.
about.
I've had several songs like that where I will have a lyric in there and think to myself, I'll come back to that in a couple weeks or in a month or whatever. Actually, hold on. There's a couple lyrics in there that I'm like, the more I kind of work with that song, the more I'm like, mm. And actually, this is something too, Jose, and I've been reflecting on, is that I think some of these songs that I will say, like, I'm not really satisfied with it. Like, Never Know When to Quit, I feel like is 90% the song I want it to be.
Mm.
And the thing that is I don't like about it is the last chorus, it doesn't resolve in the turn of phrase that I want.
Mm-hmm.
And I find that that is a big sticking point for me in a lot of my songs, is like there is a turn of phrase missing. that would make this song
Uh-huh.
exactly what I want to hear.
Yeah.
And, you know, I often will hear people, I didn't have that language for that before today, honestly. Like, I didn't really know what it was. I just knew, like, oh, the song, it's not exactly what I want, and it's missing this little jewel. And
Yeah.
that's what it is. It's like some turn of phrase that
That
I
ties
guess,
it.
yeah, and makes me feel clever or whatever. I don't know. But so yeah, there's a lot. I have a lot of songs like that that have, they're probably somewhere between 80 and 90% of exactly what I want it to be. And then it'll be that last little thing that is elusive, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to say exactly what you want to say in a really poetic and profound way.
Yep. And it's hard to know what tool to use to do that. Because
Yes.
I think I get stuck on like, well, this is not the word that I want in this line because I
Yeah.
want it to have a certain impact. And I do forget often that you can use, instead of a word, you can use harmony, you can use layering, you
Oh,
can use space, a break.
yeah.
There's a musical tools that you can use to bring out that feeling that you want, you know?
Yeah. That's a really
But
good point.
because I'm you know, I think we all are a perfectionist to a level. I want it to be all those things. Like I want to use all of the tools at once.
Yeah.
And it's all or nothing, you know,
Yeah.
which is silly. But yes, I feel that deeply.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see if I come back to this. Actually, I think I probably will come back to it just because of this represents a particular thing in my life that is unresolved for me, anyways. So I probably will come back to it because this is the most concise set of thoughts I've ever documented around it. So
that's crazy that it happened in 2 hours.
yeah, I mean, you mentioned, I can't remember the context earlier when I was wrestling violently with my Logic Pro session, but somehow you talked about like your surprise of what comes out of your subconscious. I think that was today we were talking about it. And this is a little bit of that because it's not like this was on my mind. You know, some little trigger brought this up, and yeah.
So interesting. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, it's beautiful. I love it.
Thank you.
Lovely.
Well, thank you for listening, Hatori. Wonderful feedback as always, and very encouraging. So let's hear your absolute locally, globally sourced banger.
Oh, I have got a song for you. And it's definitely something. I titled it Umbilical. Because that is the first word that was given to me to put into this dumb song.
Look at all these tracks.
Look at these tracks. So I'm, before I don't know, actually, you know what? I'll let you decide. Should I explain like how it started and then show it to you, or show it to you and then walk you through?
I want to just hear it first.
You just hear it. Great.
Yeah,
okay.
I want to just hear it first.
All right. This is Umbilical. All right, here we go. Blood in my hair, sweat in my eyes. Cut myself free like it's umbilical, diabolical, proportionally biblical. I'm kneeling in desperation, please, I'm not who I once was. I swear to God and I swear it again. My dark days are gone, I'm clean again. I've righted my wrongs, I'm born again. But how do I live when they treat me like sin? Hands behind my back, I can't even hold them high. Stripped of all my dignity, I'm breaking at the seams. I can't believe I fell for this. And someone stole my hamster. Separation cleaving me in two, and I'm the monster. You're playing a game of hide and seek, and all you do is hide. I'm suffocating, and you're the one who strung me up to die. Oh, guilty until you die. Guilty until proven otherwise. Guilty until
I go into fight or flight. Where's the evidence? Hand to heart, I swear the oath. Gun to my head, this is the whole and nothing but that androgynous silhouette in the doorway is inching closer every day. I can take this no more, baby. Frat house disorder in the courtroom, I'm doomed. Baby, I'm doomed. Oh, guilty until you die. Guilty until proven otherwise. Guilty until you die. Oh.
What a strong ending that was. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I am gonna take a guess.
Hmm.
Someone stole my hamster was a line you were given, right?
I was gonna
Or
say,
did
yeah.
that come out of your psyche?
Oh, what could it be? No, it definitely was a line that was given to me.
Okay.
There was no salvaging that one. It had to be. There was nothing I could do.
Oh, I was really in listening, evaluating, like following along, and then like that was like a glass of cold water thrown in my face.
Yeah, which is
It's so funny.
it is what it is.
That is funny. Hosanna, you did a bunch of cool stuff in here. The I plead the fifth, I'm innocent. Is that right? Is that how
Yeah.
that melody goes? That was dope. I
Oh,
thought
thank
that was a
you.
really nice. I mean, I liked it. I like a lot of what you did, but I like that when you kind of embellish or
Yeah.
mix up your melodies and the parts of the song. That was super cool. I also like how you do this really well. Like, I'm gonna get it wrong, but like, hand to heart, I swear the earth gun to my head. Da, 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 da. I like that kind of stuff when you do that.
Bouncy. Oh, thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks.
bouncy and like it's not rap, but it's
Yeah,
yeah.
rap singing or whatever they call it.
I like what is that? 60, track 60, I think. Or no. Yeah, track number 60. Whatever that
This
noise is.
Oh, huh. It's
Huh.
literally like this.
I like these. Yeah, that was cool.
That was a last minute addition.
It was good. I liked it.
I got to add something to distract from the rest of it, you know. But wow, can I tell
Yes,
you
tell me everything.
this? My God, this was a nightmare. Um, I I don't know why I keep putting myself in these situations, but I do because I am stupid and I just keep making those mistakes. But so obviously I was like, okay, this will be fun. I'll do something. I actually half was thinking like this will be a fun little project and then I'll actually write a real song, you know, for
Gotcha.
I took it too far. I couldn't stop. So it started off with I was like, all right, pick a time signature. And
Okay.
so my said
Oh, you
3 4.
sourced all that. You sourced everything from the internet.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I was like, all right, we're gonna do 3 4. And then I said, let's pick a BPM. This is where I went wrong. Okay. Terrible idea. I said pick a BPM. And I think originally it was like 154. And then
Fast.
then someone was like, all right, you're gonna start with horns, which is I think this. So at 154, it was like dragging.
I
right?
see.
Okay, we're gonna bump it up to 212. Another terrible mistake. Okay. Because then trying to find any kind of beat that would work on a 3/4 time 212 BPM song.
They're all like, yeah.
Everything sounded like it was like an acid trip. It was awful. It was a terrible, terrible choice. I panicked. And people saw me panicking and were like, "Hey, I know this guy that can like help you with your beats." And they're like, some guy like joined me on the live, this producer, Tony, and he was trying to help me. And I was like, I don't know what to, I can't do it. And it was literally just I live streamed just being humiliated, my ass kicked by this time signature and BPM. Anyway, so I was like, all right, I give up. I can't do this anymore. What I ended up doing was like quitting on the beat, writing the lyrics because
Okay.
all right, let me go back to the lyric part. I was like, oh, we had like this
Oh, yeah.
brass and like horn stuff, and then I added in this little synth thing here. Added something, and I was like, all right, oh, this is gonna be fun. Guys, give me some words. And these are the effing words that people gave me. Umbilical, separation, that's not too bad. Suffocation, immediately my head was like, suffocation. No
Yeah.
breathe. You know, that
Yeah.
where it was in my head. Androgynous, that was
That's
really
yeah.
that was, and I don't think I really did it well, but and then yeah, someone stole my hamster. And that one, there is actually a story behind it. It was suggested by a friend of mine who was at the cult with me. I've told you my cult story, haven't I?
Yeah.
And we were having a great time, actually, ironically. And I had bought them all these little tiny toy hamsters.
Oh.
There's no real good reason for it. I just did. And we were all hanging out in a room, and some complete stranger, a guy, walked into the room, looked around, did not say a single word, picked up her hamster, and walked out. That's it. They just left.
That fits in a cult. That fits.
It does. This is what's crazy. He wasn't even in the cult. We
Mm.
don't know who he was. Anyway, so
that also fits in the cult, by the way.
You're right. It does. And I was like, well, I have to include that,
That is amazing.
History. So, and then Adam and Shelby Hill were my former roommates.
Oh, I didn't realize it was baby frat house.
It's because I kind of worked around it a little bit. My former roommates, okay, who I watched them, buy a house, get married. We kind of lived with them for a while. They had 2 babies, then we had 2 babies. They were like our best buddies, and we've often described our former living situation as a baby frat house. And that was
nice work down there.
The reason. Where did I put it? Oh, right.
At the very bottom, yeah.
I just said, I can't take this no more, baby.
Comma.
Just comma. So does it make sense? No.
Yeah,
but
it makes sense to me now.
Thank you. Right? Okay. I've accomplished the goal that I set out to accomplish, and it is what it is. So
well, I applaud you, Hosanna, for trying something new in terms of process, right, and workflow. And I'm kind of curious. So you had Tony, producer Tony, jump on and help you with a beat, 212 beats per minute in 3/4 time signature.
Yeah.
Was there anything you learned from that, from his advice or like his kind of framing?
The biggest thing I learned was, wow, don't do 3/4 2/12. Don't do it.
Okay.
It was pretty much like, this is a really, really hard beat to do anything with, especially in rap, because he mainly does rap beats.
I see.
He was like, yeah, most of the stuff we do is 4/4. And I said,
yeah,
wow, I know nothing about rap.
Well, it's funny. Yeah. So if I was to back up, so let's say you were just to give me all these elements as a starting point, I wouldn't have known. It would not even have occurred to me to think about samples. But now that you're describing it, I'm like, oh, of course.
Right.
But I wouldn't think of all that. without having gone through this experience that you did. So
And now I know. I mean, it is a lesson learned because in my mind, and I think this is very genre specific. I do write a lot of stuff in 3/4, and it tends to be more jazz, soul, neo soul kind of stuff.
yeah,
Um, and I didn't really realize how hard it was to do a rap beat on a very fast
yeah,
3/4.
yeah. It's
Uh,
fascinating. And
yeah.
but sorry.
Oh, so when I like typed in like on Splice like a 3/4 or 6/8, anything, literally anything, everything was super slow
Like,
BPM.
mm-hmm.
Da, da,
Yeah,
da, you
yeah.
know, and there was nothing, literally nothing that was fast. And I was like, okay, lesson learned. This is just not something that people do for a reason. It is hard to make anything work with this because it's hard to move around that beat, you know?
Well, maybe that'll be your new what you're known for as an artist, kind of your artist profile.
Wildly fast 3/4.
She does too fast 3/4 beats. She's cornered the market.
Okay, so what he did suggest though, Tony,
Yeah.
was very, very helpful was to actually just isolate, like do a hi-hat, you know. Find
Oh,
like
smart.
you need to find the
Yeah.
section. It was like too fast. So I really could like if you really listen to it, it's a much slower BPM. I never figured out what it was. I think it's like a third slower.
Okay. Okay. Oh, I see.
Count it differently, it's actually manageable. If you think about it differently, it's manageable. I just couldn't figure out the math to make it work. But it is, I think, a third slower, whatever a third of 212 is. So
Oh. Oh, a third of that.
yeah.
Wow. So
I think
you had all kinds of math
yeah,
going
brain
on
went-
here.
well, I didn't do it. I thought, I should do it, and then so anyway,
Well,
this that song.
and it's called Umbilical, which will live in
Infamy.
SoundCloud infamy. You're not going to release this one? You don't think? I seriously, I applaud you for doing it,
Thank you.
for sourcing this way. I think it's so that my experience this week was kind of I think I was lazy on purpose because I just didn't want there are so many times I had plenty of opportunity to sit down and write and I didn't want to. So I think something like what you did is sometimes the kind of hack.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To kind of force some creative action to happen.
I think collaboration, it's terrifying.
Yeah.
I think it's extremely vulnerable to do that, because you're putting yourself in a situation where you can kind of embarrass yourself terribly
Yeah.
in a thing that is precious to you,
Yeah.
songwriting, music. So it's high stakes, you know, but I think when it goes well, you know, and it works, it's invaluable.
I
Like
totally
you just
agree.
so fast. You
Yep.
learn so much so fast. So it was a terrifying but good time. It was
I think it's
chaotic.
awesome. I mean, again, because it wasn't me
Yeah.
on the hook for it. I think it's awesome. And like I don't know about envious, but like I
You should do
applaud. I mean, I applaud you because it's freaking cool. And I think the game of bands thing,
Yeah.
writing lyrics for someone else
It's hard.
I'm willing to live with bad lyrics in my own songs to a point. But there's all this pressure for this song that I'm going to put in a Reddit thread and Reddit users are going to vote on, and then it's going to disappear. Like no one's going to ever listen to it again. You know what I mean? I still feel like, oh my God, these lyrics have to be good. So I get what you're saying about collaboration is like, it's the pressure, the stakes are high, even though they aren't. it
They-
feels that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was week
I'm-
7.
Yes, it was week 7. Oh my
Mhm.
god. So we talked about doing a challenge for
Let's
week
do it.
8.
I challenge us each to write a song this week.
Oh my god.
We should do
Great.
that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I could do it.
Yeah.
What have you given it thought? Because I'm not gonna lie to you. I really haven't thought much
Neither
about
have I. Neither have
much.
I. One thing, I don't know if I'm ready for this, but one thing some people in my life asked is like, oh, you and Hosanna should write lyrics for each other's songs. You're like, give each other lyrics sometimes. And I do have some lyrics, I'm sure in here I could give you some lyrics. So I don't know if you have lyrics.
I do.
I'm not ready to write them for you, but I could take some that I've already written and maybe
Absolutely.
scrub them and send them to you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I have
I'm down with
pages.
that.
I love that idea, actually.
So we can see where that goes.
How much, like, should it be like a fleshed out thing?
Yeah.
Or
I mean,
like a
Go ahead, sorry.
seed of a song, you know?
Well, I was planning to send you like a whole page.
Nice.
I'll find some, I have some ideas that are fully written, and then I have some that are like verse, chorus. So all I would need to do is write the third verse. And
Okay.
but then my thought is like, if you are into it and you're like, kind of needs a bridge too, like write a bridge. Or if you're
Okay.
like, I want to write a second chorus that's different than the first chorus, like you know, it's your song ultimately.
So I think that's a great idea. That was really,
Cool.
really good.
Cool.
Yeah, I have so many that it'll be good because it'll give me an opportunity to go through a
Yeah.
lot of this that I've forgotten about. How strictly should we stick to those lyrics? How much freedom do we have to change them?
Change them. So,
Okay.
because I'm sending you the rodeo clown song. No, I'm kidding. No, I say you do what you want with it because
Okay.
yeah, it's
I'm
collaboration, right? So, so I'll get you some lyrics tomorrow
okay, same.
if that's okay. Okay, and then we will Saturday debut our freaking and actually for this week I committed to myself that I am going to actually start working on this tomorrow because I want to have an actual, I feel like the last few weeks I've just kind of pushed it to the end of the week. But I want to really push myself a little bit on the production this week. So I'm going to try to really start working through some ideas tomorrow. So
Nice. Then I will get you those lyrics as soon as possible.
it's okay. Yeah. If you don't, it's fine. Because what I'm finding too is like, even if I don't, whatever idea I come up with tomorrow, even if I don't use it, I'm banking it for when we come back. So,
All right.
and for
Dope.
my burgeoning game of bands career.
Amazing.
So,
Oh, this was fantastic.
good week.
It's a good week. I can't believe that we are nearing the end of season 2.
Yeah. Well, Hatori,
You did
thanks for
it.
being awesome.
Wrote a song.
Thanks for being my partner in songwriting madness, and I can't wait to see your soul crushing lyrics. Number one.
Oh God. Yeah, it's gonna be great. I have no
So,
idea what I'm gonna do yet, so excited.
yeah. No, yeah, I'm not gonna say anything else. So
Okay.
all right.
See you this time next week with a brand
Peace
new
out.
song. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.